10 most powerful magic tricks in the world. The rope goes through the neck and only eats hors d'oeuvres. The box is suspended in the air out of thin air, but you tear people in half with your bare hands. But scared everyone. Magic is a very incredible performance. Have you ever considered? These bottles came out of thin air, or a cup that's suspended out of thin air. Today, Lao Wang sees the world. Let's uncover the secret with everyone. 10 most powerful magic tricks in the world. Remember to like and subscribe to my channel. Take you to explore more unknown magical worlds. The 10th wine bottle with more and more debate. Matt Franco. He's a very funny magician. He brought a game on the Got Talent show. Magic show about wine bottles. At the beginning of the magic, Matt showed a wine bottle and a wine glass. Then he took the paper bucket next to him and covered the wine glass. When he was about to cover the wine bottle with a paper barrel, and there was another bottle of wine. He moved the wine aside and covered another bottle of wine. Then he uncovered. The positions of the wine bottle and the wine glass are reversed. Then he covered it again. But when uncovered, the position of the wine bottle and wine glass has been changed again. And he did a little bit of a puzzle. And back and forth. Location of empty wine glasses and bottles. This meal is dazzling. Then he tried to prove that the straight tube did not do anything. He also took the straight tube and showed it. But that's not all. Because he started using these two paper tubes again. Keep conjuring wine bottles. These bottles seem to fall from the sky. Keep appearing. And to prove that these bottles are real. Halfway through the show, he also poured the wine from the bottle into the wine glass. And then it turns the cup into a bottle. This sequence of transformations stunned the audience. Does he really know magic? How can someone create something out of thin air? What about the bottle? And do you know how he did it? Are you suspicious of him under the table? What special device? Think he took the bottles out from under the table? And that's not true. Because the secret is not on the table. It's in these specially designed bottles. Simply put, it was changed by Matt. There are 9 bottles in total. It's actually done through 3 sets of bottles. In these 3 sets of bottles, each set consists of 3 bottles. Due to the different sizes of the bottles, plus the bottle has no bottom. So, they can be stacked one by one. At the same time, the hollow part can also hide the wine glass, just as shown in the picture. In each bottle, there are 3 bottles and a wine glass in total. So Matt can do it easily. Call the cup and bottle in a circle. And these things that Matt uses. It was already on the table at the beginning of the performance. 2 of them are hidden in paper buckets. The other set is to shed tears in the audience. You might want to ask, if the bottle has no bottom, why can you still pour wine halfway through? Here's why. The smallest bottle inside, there's a compartment on top of it. There is a small amount of wine hidden in it. So when it comes to that bottle, you can successfully pour the wine. So how did Matt know which bottle has wine in it? This is because the bottle is designed with a small incision. This allows Matt to quickly identify and transform. When Matt passes these specially designed bottles, when constantly changing bottles and swapping positions, the wine glass and bottle are in his hands. It's alive. The 9th glass in the air. Stamper was a Japanese magician. He's on Britain's Got Talent. Performed a magic trick. You see, he took it, a bottle and a glass. Then pour the liquid from the bottle into the glass. Then let go. And here's the magic. The glass is suspended in the air. It defies gravity. It stunned the audience. So, do you know how he did it? Actually, the secret to this magic trick. It's on a thin, transparent thread. One end of this thin thread, it's attached to a little metal weight. There's a little hook on the other end. On the thin line, there is also a small clip near the end of the metal weight. This little clip is the key to keeping the glass suspended. So how do you do that? And it's very simple, but very clever. Just as the picture shows, the bottle is connected at one end of the thin wire. There is a heavy metal in the bottle. It acts as a force of gravity. And the hook on the other end. The glass is attached by a hidden clip, so the glass stays in the air. How can the glass get hooked? This is because the cup is not an ordinary cup. It's a special magic cup. There is a thin transparent line in the middle of the cup. In this way, the cup is supported by the thin thread and clip. It's suspended. You might be wondering, why haven't people noticed the existence of thin lines? And that's because the thin thread is very thin, plus the cooperation of stage lighting. It's hard for the audience to notice him, but if you look closely, it will be found at the mouth of the bottle. You can see the hook and the hidden wire. Eighth lonely doll, mysterious Ryan, but a master servant. This time he's on America's Got Talent. Performed a show, scalp-tingling voodoo doll magic. When the show starts, Ryan's mysterious, peered inside the curtain in the flames, then slowly walked to the judge's table, and he took one out of a box, photos of the judges sitting together, then carefully folded up, and he unfolded it. We can see, Melanie's head is missing from the photo. Here we go. A box magically opens automatically. Rihanna took one out of it. Voodoo doll with Melanie's head. Do you know how she did it? So the first part of the magic is in two parts. Dangriana, a scene that mysteriously emerged from Maburi. In fact, he is a secret hidden under the table. In the cubicle, this compartment is covered with black cloth, with a cover of fire. The audience can't see him at all. Before the performance begins, Rihanna is already hiding in this cubicle. That's why there is this amazing perfect appearance. The second part is the missing head from the photo. This part is actually not difficult at all. If you look closely, you will find, when Rihanna took out the photo display from the box, Melanie's head in the photo. It's been pre-processed. His head is obviously different from the other judges. Then when he was folding the photo, you can quietly tear off the processed avatar, and hidden in the left hand. So, Melanie's avatar in the photo. How did it appear on the non-toxic doll? At first, when Rihanna showed the doll, there's no face on her. This is actually because there is also a hidden compartment in the box. There is an identical doll in the compartment. There was a picture of Melanie on the doll. This compartment can be opened by remote control. When the box is opened, the cubicle is also open. So Rihanna quickly dipped his hand into the box, put the doll in the main box, replaced with Melanie's head in the compartment, so the audience can see. Avatar in photo. It's an illusion of a doll. The seventh disappearing ball. Josephine. She is a very good female magician. He's on Britain's Got Talent. Performed an amazing disappearing magic trick. Shocked everyone present. The show begins. Josephine took a gold quilt from the closet, something wrapped in silk cloth, and then he lifted the cloth. Inside is a ball. Then he floats the ball in the air. The ball floated in the air for a while. He's got another hula. It goes around the ladder. Prove that there is nothing in between. Then he showed some fancy gameplay. Let the ball float higher and higher. Then he magically. The ball was transported to a wooden cabinet on the stage. Then he opened the closet. The ball is in the center of the cabinet. And he took a piece of gold cloth from the side. A dozen in front of the cabinet. The ball in the cabinet disappeared. It seems to be hidden in the cloth. Subsequently, it's just floating around, like a ghost. Then he opened the cabinet again. There's a ball in it. So he covered it with a cloth. The cloth also floated in the air. And he closes the closet. And then he opens the closet. God, why is there another one in there? So he is the same as before. Cover with a cloth. The ball ran away. And then he went into the closet and closed the lid. Finally, the cabinet opened itself. There's nothing in there. At the same time, the two balls floating on the stage also fell. And another piece of cloth that was floating was also lifted. God, it's green points. Is this really not magic? Isn't that amazing? And do you know how they do it? Now let's uncover the secrets together. There are two parts to this magic trick. One is a floating sphere. The second is the teleportation part. Let's look at the floating sphere first. In fact, it starts with the performance. All things that float are supported by invisible wires. These lines are before he goes on the field. It has been connected to the sides of the sphere. As we can see in the video, one end of the line will go through the top of the box. The other end goes through the hole in the side of the box. Through these lines, the assistant can control the movement of the sphere. Make the ball look like it's actually suspended in the air. Assistant. Yes, you heard that right. And assistants. The assistants are hidden on either side of the stage. They are responsible for. Do you want to run these wires up or down? Left or right? When Josephine took the ball out of the closet and performed various floating performances. In fact, they are all stationed and operated with wires, including the magical floating of the ball. Back in the cabinet, it's all controlled by wires. Then why does the hula hoop revolve around the ball? It didn't affect the line. If you have carefully observed his methods, you will find When he was spinning a hula hoop, there is no left-right rotation. They move up and down, and now the two sides of the ball. So it doesn't affect the wiring. What about the floating cloth? Yes, that's right. He is like a ball. Invisible wires are also connected on both sides, and there's a hemisphere underneath it. This hemisphere can contract and expand. When the moonlight divides the cloth, the hemisphere unfolds. So the assistant controls the cloth with wires. No, it's really levitating. It also explains why. Why did the last step fall to the ground? Ball also disappears with the illusion. This is because the cloth falls off at the same time. But the sphere also contracted. Then why do the balls in the closet disappear? Does it happen again and again? About this part, we need to analyze it together with the teleportation part, to make it easy to understand. But first I have to tell you, the cabinets on the stage are not ordinary cabinets. There's a secret compartment under him, hidden inside. A double assistant who looks very similar to Josephine. He's been hiding inside. When Josephine closed the closet, he takes the ball out. When the catch is covered, take the ball out of the middle of the cabinet, and that gives the audience a kind of ball. Enter the illusion of Bree disappearing. Also at the end, Josephine said that when the open cloth covered herself, the stand-in comes out of the compartment, and Josephine went into hiding in Bree. Then depressed, Usurfin's double entered the compartment of the cabinet. So when I finally opened the cabinet, there will be nothing. And then Josephine in Bree. Then he opened the inexperience and showed up. To end this incredible performance, the sixth chain goes through the neck. Pay attention. The man undid a chain from the car. Then ask a few people to come forward to check the chains. Make sure the chain is genuine. Nothing was done. And he took the chain, and quickly and skillfully put the chain. Tie it around your neck. Tie a knot, by the way. Then he had two men standing on either side of him, and you're holding on to the end of the chain. Subsequently, he made the men on both sides pull the chain hard at the same time. Surprisingly, the chain magically went through his neck, and the audience was dumbfounded. I couldn't believe what I saw. So, do you know how he did it? And the trick is very simple. As long as you master the skills and practice more, anyone can learn, and there's no risk. Speaking of which, do you think the chain is fake? So let's start with this. I got to tell you something. The chain is real. The chain didn't do anything, because the secret to success is not in the chains. It's about the skill of making the chains. That is, he uses a method called a cyclic knot method. Let's show it in detail now. It's easy to learn. You have to pay attention. This approach appears superficially. The rope seems to be tied firmly around the neck. There's no way to figure it out, but it actually hangs loosely around the neck. Pull it open. Certainly. Here it is. His long hair also served as a disguise. Let people see how unclean it is tied. I can't see where the knot is, and to make the magic look more real, he also pretended that the chains were tied tightly. It was painful, and it created a sense of tension, and he had both sides pull at the same time. At this moment, the chain looks like really pulling his neck hard. When the chain appears to go through his neck, he pretended to be in great pain. How about after watching this magic? Do you want to try it? Fifth Sand Township Escape. Renowned escape artist Damian Ardich. On America's Got Talent, a thrilling sand town was staged. Escape show. The story begins when Damian enters sand country. He only has 2 minutes to escape, or 400 kilos of sand will bury him. Let him suffocate. This great artist risked his life. Stationed in Sand Township. His ankle, wrists and necks are locked. There is only a fragile lid above. The show begins. Sand is slowly pouring down from above the sandbox. The audience held their breath, staring intently at this breathtaking scene. Time goes by minute. Tension is in the air. Damian finally unraveled the barbecue, but when he was about to unlock the neck, the sand suddenly accelerates. The fragile lid is defenseless. Buried Damian directly. Everyone thought something happened to Damian. The scene exclaimed. Just then, assistants hurry up and fight. Martyr gun. It turned out that Damian was wearing an assistant's clothes. Successful escape. Safe and sound. And the audience is stunned. Applause and cheers erupted in an instant. Then you know this seemingly impossible escape. How did you do it? First I have to tell you. Gloves used by Damian. Chains around the neck and ankles. In fact, they are all specially customized. These special designs allow him to escape quickly. Specifically, it's just that the hand doesn't need a key. It can be easily opened and closed, and the chains of the neck and ankles can also be easily untied from one side. Help him get out quickly. I guess you must be wondering, how did he escape from the sandbox? Here on stage, this is because Sand Township is a special sand township. There is a secret escape door inside Sand Township. At the same time, a lock is also set on the lid. Inlet. The fragile lid is dropped according to its own needs. When Damien enters the sandbox, sand starts to build up on the lid. At this point he quickly uncuffs the handcuffs. Wait until the sand has accumulated enough. He pulls the latch. The sand buried him. At the same time, when the lid falls off at an angle, covering his tracks, then an assistant quickly ran to the back. Swap places with Damien who escaped. And finally, the escaped Damien appears wearing an assistant's hat. Surprise everyone. The fourth beautiful woman becomes reality. Tony and Jordan are twin brothers. They were on America's Got Talent, performed a magic trick that made the audience scream. This show, combining the power of magic and modern technology. When the magic begins, Tony Fast walked behind a big screen on the stage and appeared on the screen, circled around with him. He split up in two. The audience immediately became aware of these two men. One is Tony, and then there's his twin brother, Jordan. Then, Tonic Jordan, together on stage, have some incredible interaction. On the screen, suddenly a beauty appeared without clothes, female. So they pulled out red napkins from their cups, changed clothes for beautiful women. Then I picked up the tablet, turned the red desk lamp on the tablet into a light bulb. And then the light comes on. Just throw it away. Became the sun on the screen. At the same time, the other magician takes a yellow balloon. Drop the balloon. The beautiful woman on the screen. A yellow balloon also appeared. The beautiful woman on the screen seems to feel cold at the end, so the magician brought a piece of cloth. And he's not going to put a lid on the screen. The beautiful woman on the screen becomes reality. Just as the audience and the judges were shocked, the magician thinks a beautiful woman is not enough. Then he covered the cloth again. When opened, one beautiful woman becomes two. Wow, that's pretty cool. And do you know how they do it? I want to start with the interactive part of the show. It's actually fairly easy to understand. Because they're just on the big screen, play a pre-recorded video. In fact, even if the brothers don't interact with the screen, it doesn't affect what's happening on the screen. But after the interaction between the brothers, everything becomes magical. And they're having these interactions. He performed a lot of magic tricks. The first is to turn the napkin into a red dress. When beautiful women appear on the screen, brothers shot him a piece of fabric like a red napkin. And these red napkins flew up onto the screen, turned into a red dress on a beautiful woman. How is that possible? They didn't actually set the napkin. Real napkins. As they let go, it just disappears into their sleeves. This is achieved through a program called Gecko Props Done. This prop will be used. Elastic straps in the sleeves pull the napkin away. Then at the same time, two pieces of red cloth on the screen fly to the beautiful woman and turned into a dress. It's happening on the screen. Brothers just have to let go of the napkin at the right moment and create the visual illusion of imagining a napkin as a screen. And then the lamp came on. This is actually an app they designed. So the red desk lamp on the tablet will turn into a light bulb. So why did the light bulb become a reality? Here's why. The light bulb was originally glued to the back of the tablet. It's just that the audience can't see it. He just needs to release the light bulb and it will fall into his hand. As for why this light bulb is on again, this is because he is a touch type. As soon as you touch it, it will automatically light up. What about the sun on the screen? Pay attention. When he was about to throw the light bulb, it's actually the light bulb, hidden behind this bookshelf. The sun on the screen was originally a pre-recorded video. And then the balloon. When Jordan picked up a yellow balloon, to the beautiful woman on the screen. But if you look closely at the video, you can see it. The balloon in his hand had actually exploded. Pieces fell to the floor. That would explain it. How did he make the balloon disappear? As for the balloons on the screen, it was originally recorded. The twin beautiful women who appeared on the stage at the end. What's going on? Let's pause the video first. You can see it. There is a small cabinet on the right side of the screen. The beautiful woman is actually hiding there. Then before it appears, you can also see Jordan covered the audience with a blanket. Sight then let the beautiful woman from behind the cabinet climb to the center of the stage. Then I show a beautiful woman, and the other one is hidden behind the cloth. Wait until the end. Let them appear in front of the audience together, and everybody's jaws dropped. Third floating box. The floating box is a magical performance. Magic. The teacher introduced his float in an unconventional way. Liang assistant. At the beginning of the magic. The teacher brought a box with letters on it to the stage, and the magician gestures down, and the box on the platform also magically moves down, and it comes back into place. Then he gestured again. Rotate the box to the left, rotate to the right again. Then he started shaking the box again. In the process, some letters fell off, so he started gesturing again, and the letters on the box are also moving. Finally magically spelled out the English word for girl, and then he's gesturing. The box rises into the air. Suddenly a beautiful woman pops her head out of the box, and tilt left and right with the box. Finally, to prove that there is nothing at the bottom of the box, the magician is still clutching the bottom of the box. That's so amazing. And do you know how he did it? A first glance at the bottom and surroundings of the box. There doesn't seem to be anything. But the secret was inside the box. Because of this box. Not as simple as we see. There's actually a support frame behind the box. This support frame, placed between the magician and the chest. So why can't the audience see it? Here's why. This support frame is disguised as a magician's leg. When the box levitates, the audience thinks that the support is the magician's leg. The entire structure. It's probably like what you see in the picture. The magician hid his right leg in the support frame. The back support dares to cover it with a black cloth. And below is the actual foot of the magician. It's just perfect. When the magician makes gestures, mobile platform for support frame, the required movement will be made by remote control. Then the audience will see the box moved with the magician's gestures. What about the beautiful woman in the back? In fact, this beautiful woman appeared out of thin air before the performance begins. On the fixed support platform in the box, the platform is in the middle, so it won't affect the movement of the box. Certainly, this is the last time a beautiful woman can be with the box. Hovering secret. The English words pieced together on the box. What's going on? This is actually because the required letters on the box have a special design. When the magician shakes the box for the first time, only 4 letters have not been dropped. This is because of these 4 letters. It is firmly fixed to the box by a magnet, so they don't fall off so easily. Then why do the letters move by themselves? This is very easy to understand. Because the beautiful woman in the box moves the magnet. Spelled out English words. In fact, any magic trick requires a long time of practice, and the high degree of cooperation of the assistants will succeed. Especially after the revelation, you will find magicians are even more amazing than we imagined. The second frozen fountain. Look, Dynamo is at it again. Look at those hands on the water. The water surface turned to ice. And here's the amazing thing. Even the fountain that is flowing, also frozen directly. And this shocked the audience. Could he really be magical? That's not possible. So there must be a secret. Then do you know where the secret of this magic is? So, not much to say. Let's find out step by step. Fact. This magic trick was originally planned before the performance begins. A layer of ice has been placed at the bottom of the fountain. And then Dynamo just pulls the water level down by. You can float this layer of ice up. Give a person a kind of water when he touches it. The illusion of freezing. But to make the performance even more stunning, he also froze the fountain at the source of the flowing water. But if you look closely, you will find the ice stream is actually narrower than the previous water stream. And that's because these flows are there already. It's just wrapped in the current. So when the current shuts off, the ice will appear immediately. Give people a feeling of the water being frozen into ice in an instant. You might want to ask, can't the audience see it? Here's why. The audience is part of the magic. They are all magicians. Without the incredible expressions of the audience, this show, maybe it is, can't achieve this shocking effect. What do you think? The first person rips a person in half with his bare hands. When you see a living person ripped in half before your eyes, would you be shocked? This show, it may not be suitable for those with a fragile heart, especially those who can't see through magic. At the beginning of the magic, the magician invited a woman and a man, lying on a park bench. Then adjust the position of the lady. Then for more spectators were invited, grabbed their arms and legs respectively, and stared at a few words. Let them listen to his slogans. Pull harder in your own direction. God. The lady's body was literally torn in half, and the audience kind of backed away. Beautiful woman screamed. Then during his busy work, and he split open the man on the bench next to him. But they don't seem to be dead. It freaked the audience out. And finally, the magician puts them back together again. But in the hustle and bustle, magician will man, the upper body of the gentleman and the lady were swapped. The result is the wrong combination. Caused an incorrect connection. God, how is this possible? And do you know how he did it? Although it appears in the video, the performance took less than 5 minutes. But actually, shooting time is up to 4 to 5 hours. We can shadow. This can be seen in the change of the child. Observe carefully. You will find. At first the shadow of the tree did not cover the trash can. Rain is a sidewalk. But just 30 seconds later, the shadow covers these things. This shows that this video wasn't shot all at once. It took a long time to prepare, and multiple shots. Now let's reveal the secret to this magic trick. In fact, from the beginning to the end of the performance, we always thought there were only 2 of us, but there were actually 4 people involved in the show. The woman and the man who first appeared. It's the body's complete assistant. In addition to that, and to torso doubles, they replaced women and men respectively. Separate part of the scholar. A torso double refers to only the upper body, and without legs. They may be injured or ill. The missing leg. Of course, the assistant who is physically intact. To assist with the mutilated body. It's similar in every way. You also have to use camera switching. When the body is separated, the camera makes various toggles, especially when the audience was filmed being frightened. When the expression. At this time, no one will observe the assistants before and after. It's a question of whether you look like it or not. And these stunned audiences. Also an actor hired by a magician, just to create this effect. If you don't believe me, you can observe carefully. When the lady came and lay down on the bench, she never sat up again. Rarely shows his face. This makes it convenient for the camera. Seamlessly switches to his torso body. When the camera switches to the torso stand-in, the double is lying on the bench. And then it uses robotic legs, attached to the lower body of the double. When the magician slaps his waist, the connection was immediately disconnected. It looks like they've torn him in half. Then he went to slap the man again. Men are also disconnected, and the lower body is even moving after disconnection. Here's why. He has robotic legs like a woman. And the lady after the split nose starts screaming. Carry out various dramatic performances, but her face rarely appears in the camera. This is because he is no longer the original lady. But if you watch the video carefully, you will find torso man and original man. It looks a little different. So he wears sunglasses all the time. And finally, when the magician put them back together, there's camera switching as well. In this section, they not only covered their bodies, replaced with a complete body, also let men and women with complete bodies swap pants and skirts. This creates the fantasy of the lower body being wrongly connected. I don't know the 10 most amazing magic tricks above. Which one impressed you the most? Or is there anything to add? Welcome to comment and let me know. If you like this video, remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.